In this series of podcasts, we're going to be covering Maya's shelves. Now, you've all used shelves before. There's just little tabbed areas up here that give you quick access to different types of tools across Maya. Now, in our case, we can create our own for rigging. So I'm going to click the little down arrow and say new shelf. And I'm just going to use my first initial and last name for my shelf. You can call this anything you want, but when we turn this in, we're going to have a certain naming convention for them. I said okay, and we get a shelf. Okay. Well, how do I add components onto this shelf? Well, the quickest way to do that is to really catch the actual tools right off the menus. So in our case, we have a sphere, which has a center pivot off. It has a free transforms need to be frozen, and a history, it needs to be deleted. So if I go to modify, we have our freeze transform. Now if I hold down Control Shift and then click on freeze transform, you see it pops up right in the background. Now it does not apply the freeze transform yet. It's until you click the button on it. You can see it does work. Now if I go into edit, delete by type history, and then Control Shift, now we have our delete history. You can see it even does the icon for you. And then I'm going to go into center pivot. So if you made them in the wrong order, you can just middle mouse drag them around. Or if you want to get rid of one of them, like let's say I created another freeze transforms, I can just middle mouse drag it right over to delete here, the little trash can, or I can right click on it and say delete. And there you go. So that's one quick way of actually going through, and we can test and see if this works. It does. We got 3 quick buttons and showed how to organize them. So what if I want to rename our shelf? Well, I can just I can right click on any one of these buttons and say open. Now we have our shelf editor. Everything you want to do inside our shelf is right here. So if I wanted to call this controls or gen rigging. Oh, it says as illegal characters. It wants it all in one. Good. So let's do that. Say, see, it's gen rigging, or I can turn it back. There you go. So very quick to rename it and to reposition them. We have our little buttons here to move them up and down. So you can see they're moving back and forth in the background. And we can create another menu in here just by clicking on the button like that. Or we can delete them by clicking the delete button. We can also do that by clicking our down arrow as well. So this menu here, which is very easy access, just to remind you, right click and hey, open, gives us access to everything to modify. We're going to spend this a little more in detail in the next podcast.